How y'all doing? This is Devorjae, and this is TRU7. Welcome to another episode. And this episode is going to be solely based on reptilians and their relevancy. So, with this topic, there are many avenues and ways I can attack this situation or this subject. But just so you can get to understand the facts of how that vibration from the reptilians, their DNA, how that plays a role within our reality in general, because of the history that they have within our reality, and because of experiences through not only me but people in life in general, through history written in stone, through science, through everything, sacred geometry, everything. Um, Points to the presence of a entity such as reptile being. And I guess I'm probably gonna do more videos on it, but starting with this video, just gonna try to get the understanding of the part played by these certain beings. The thing is, there's different types of reptilians, just like there's different types of humans. So like you can have a dolphin, then you have a whale, just a higher, different conscious than it, slightly other, slight different ways of communicating, but all in all, still the same being. And within even talking, referencing fish are reptiles, mammals, everything with the two-strand DNA is baseline. One of those strands is majorly the function of reptilian DNA, which hooks in and causes major the formation around the pineal gland, the inner reptilian brain, which is the main tool used that think signals have to go through. And when signals are sent through that, that's what basically it makes it easy for control because it's transmitting. Because you have crystal around your pineal gland. You can research this if you want in any anatomy book or period. Just type in pineal gland and medical research and what, and then you'll find out it has a crystal coating over it. Just like you probably don't know that I have, you know what gallstones are? They're stones all in your body for the most part. If you really want to know, for the fact that your body produces solid matter rock in it, Chris, that's don't want to go too far off on the subject, but that's how the transmitting and how on a material manifested level the signals, the vibrations that you when you're watching TV with everything's vibration. But that's the thing about TV. I'm gonna go in about that in a minute about how TV and the media and how those are set frequencies that have a direct intent with them. So those can affect they do affect you everyday life. They can most people if you watch TV, I'm pretty sure you look at it and there are people who live similar lives to the things that are on TV because those are recurring messages and vibrations sent out. But back, just still talking about the reptilians, but I still more on how, I guess, how a good hook into how it got to that point and why it's at that point. Because as I said earlier, just like you have Asians, African Americans, Indians, or whatever heritage of race within a human race. You have that. It's the same with the reptilians, because there are different types of reptilians. There are Octurians, which are forefathers of them, the Draconians, regular reptilians. You have mixed hybrid breeds of gray mixes with reptilians. So it's just interbreeds and breeds of many different entities and beings. But mainly this being predominated by that because of what they represent and what use that they have given to us through existence to get us to the point we are now for the the um, the trade of knowledge in general. The best way to sum it up to not go too far off on the deep end so you don't lose a good understanding. And if you want, they have records of this and sacred scrolls and also the pyramid, Egypt, and a lot of scriptures, and it's in every religion, religious text, like all this, and that's another thing that I'm gonna touch on another video with all this talk of how the relevancy and the factual information of how these things echo and pop up in different aspects or subjects in life, but religiously, it's the Bible always talks about that. There's not even, if you know how to interpret and read the Bible, as many preachers and higher priests in different religious orders understand and know that the Bible clearly points out different conscious beings being within the realm in general. Um, so that's just a, not gonna touch too much on it, but I mean, I guess what still, I guess still connecting with religious texts and whatnot. Most of the stories, when you, all these deities, when you hear around, they always talk about angels being there. And angels, when you think of angels, you also have to think of reptilian, because as I had said, birds are reptiles, mammals, they're simply reptiles, and fishes are reptiles. Their DNA strand rules everywhere for that easy manipulation control. And also, man, so much information I can just hit on. If you look at they, it's in your face. It's seen everywhere, and even still keeping it biblical when it came to even the order of how um, once the world's flooding, they had to save the animals. Even how the animals came upon the ship, it was they came first. It's going to be birds and reptiles. Ironically, they were the first ones to get on, and that's a lot of symbolism with that, and shows a lot of things due to their characteristic. And like I said, anytime you hear about angels in the Bible or any biblical text, most likely they're referring to that race of being, because on a and it even and that's it's so many, the imagery is put and coded in so many forms and ways. But looking even at every hospital, the hospital symbol is a snake wrapped around a cross, a stick. The National Bank, the World Bank, the same symbol, the lion and a bird. And I'll go into another video what the lion represents and everything else. But it's clearly seen everywhere, and a lot of times they put it right in front of your face of what everything is going on, and getting more, as I had said earlier, about how this race has helped existence within this reality as far as technology wise, and along with the grays, but the alchemic molding practice, the manipulation process of it, less of the psychic inheritant aspect, more of the molding material, transmuting matter, basically that whole set was most knowledge brought from that sector of the universe. And the Draconian star, I'm pretty sure if you search that, that's a star system, Alpha Draconian star system. There's many others that hold that existence, such as ours, holding human life, and mixed many others within it. But and that's the weird, the thing about it. They're also surface dwellers, but due to the technology that they have, such as cloaking devices, and also some of the races naturally knowing how to shift their energy, such as some humans already know how to do. They and that's the thing. That's the whole, because there's a technique and set um, DNA code that you can unlock due to channeling more within yourself to unlock your abilities and resonate with more of your core being or higher self or whatever you may call it, because you exist on so many levels, and you can basically transmutate those things and transform and uplift and shift within those and resonate with different beings, because everyone in all is a God and the same being, but they're just as you can be half Indian, half black because of your ancestry. It's the same exact thing, but you just have to look at that pyramid scale or that tree scale and go details and start looking at the whole picture and see even with under that and go under the image made in his image quote and say, okay, where's that image coming from? And simply put, even within mainstream knowledge or they teach you in school and everything, I mean, they're filtering the information for a reason. It's well known, and well, some religions preach that is not real, but dinosaurs, everyone knows that before humans were dinosaurs. I mean, where we get oil from, and when the body decays, it leaves back oil. So, and that's part of melanin and so many other things. But when it also keeping the knowledge and information and natural knowing knowledge of thing, nothing is new under the sun. Life has been going. There's been shifting and molding of what is to be and what is to come out of the beings in this realm, and it's all over for control, and that's what the reptilians basically represent mostly. Um, is like I was saying, most of what you see in media, people are in the media and all that, and with everything, whether it be consciously realized or subconsciously realized, there's a these people have a knowing or a tapping or within a reality that ha- they have transcends a placement within this reality, which, like I would say, will unconsciously or consciously, whether they be within something or not, it's the fact that they're there, and this stuff is taught within their clan, whether if they are just puppets or someone just within a following, just as you can go to school and simply be taught a subject and only because you're basically forced to, or this is the message that you need in order to exceed in this material life. I learned this information because it could help you. I mean, it's your choice on not to take it or to leave it, but it's the same. That's the same subject matter with that for people who may be in high standings of society in general. It's the unconsciously or consciously, that's what it is, because that person themselves, through whether conscious effort trying to or unconscious, just ended up within positions. It happened, and that's the reality that for themselves they've created in the end, and it's pre-written. So, guess more to touch on with the some reptilian stuff. When you think about, I guess I can touch on. I try to keep these videos under 15 minutes. So I can do 2 more minutes. I'm gonna start another video to give more information on it because it's a lot. Um, I guess even looking now. Oh yeah, I'm mainly talking about this. I'm wearing green and everything because that's just how life's been going for me and the certain information that I've been receiving the last couple of days. So it was only right for me to talk about this subject. But what was I saying? Yeah, even when you look at your skin, you have scales that goes into the image, and then the lower base DNA strand being reptilian. That why that would manifest through the code on the level that it be. But remember, you're mixed with other beings also to get where you are now. And remember, that's just through a whole bunch of genetic splicing to sum it up. And and that even goes in, and that's the thing. It's natural, and also there's material manipulation. There's different types of mechanisms with a lot of things, but I don't know if like when you hear about indigo children, starchy children, those are like obviously it's energies or spirits with matching type of characteristics entering at certain periods of time to lead certain movements of consciousness to shifting again a type of way of thinking. And within that whole team, you still have different people with the same agenda with different ways about going within the agenda. Like I was there's this what's his name? What's that the guy's name we found through 13 Sign Astrology? The
13 Sign Astrology?
no, the white guy.
Brett.
Brett. There's this guy named Brett. He talks about many of this, a lot of this stuff too, and he touched on he gives a good descriptions on describe multi-dimensional beings and how they're it could also be called double agent or whatever you want to call it. About how everyone has their own personal agenda, but it's still your own personal agenda could fit within a whole of agendas. So I'm like basically I compare everything with basketball. Basketball is life. Just how everyone has to have their personal goal of maybe sixth man of the year, rookie of the year, MVP, defensive player of the year, get first team all defense. In general, on different teams, but for the same cause of winning a championship. So it's pretty much the same concept with that. So you have sets of grays and sets of them materially their DNA be more set towards those beings and with channeling those different beings to channel other energies such as Joshua or Jesus or Krishna, because all these spiritual masters are also connected with higher beings who help them. Even in the Bible, you look at Moses. Moses, he was a I wouldn't say magician, but he had items given from higher beings, basically. In his experience, when he's in the cave talking to the burning bush, and that's fire represents pure energy and spirit, and that's why candles are lit in churches and during rituals and prayers and whatnot, because they are channeling energies and portals to another side. So with that bush burning, also represents so many other things. Um, Strictly pure fire energy, and messages are received basically through that, and that's that whole interpretation of that story. Him talking to God. It seems like when those things when materialized through Christian interpretation, though everything's always speaking through some alchemical thing or element. So it's just for the fact Moses, his staff was enchanted. All these things were given to him by higher beings to by higher God, do whatever you want to say to help him carry out a, a bidding. So in general, and that's how, like pretty much what I had explained with people's realities and being born for a reason, doing your purpose and all that kind of stuff. But I'm about to end this video and start another one because this is probably my longest video ever. So yeah.